ground.
Where with Dennis Miller, you know, I can tell you that over the past 4 years plus here, some of the better moments have taken place in the break, and one of them just did. And I hate to ask you to reenact something, but you told the story of Clinton waking up one morning and rolling over.
Well, we were talking about Clinton, and you said sometimes on my show I see him, you know, and he's the President of the United States. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying this for a fact, that means nothing to me.
Nothing at all.
I mean, it's a democracy. It's a place where anybody can be the president. I don't look at him and think he's some sort of ubermensch or
special person.
Yeah, Superman. He is just a guy to me who woke up in a backwater state one morning and had the audacity to roll over in bed and look at his old lady and say, "Honey, I want to be the leader of the free world." And the only difference between him and me is my wife would have looked at me and said, "Shut the hell up and go mow the lawn." You know, I mean, that's the only difference. She said, "Okay, let's go for it." You know, because she wants it as much as him.
Yeah.
I find it brilliant that she's going to run for the Senate.
And by the way,
now.
remember when the impeachment trial was all over, all of a sudden the news was dominated by Hillary running for Senate from... Where did that trial balloon go up?
It's an obvious, easier PR fix. It's a flack. I don't know who in the White House is figuring that out, but it's genius flack. The guy looks anti-Clinton or looks anti-woman in wake of, you know, kind of ravishing a young girl who's working for him, and the Juanita Broaddrick allegations. He looks like he really has a hate for women in some ways. So how do you compensate for that? You take the woman in his life, and he tells her to sally forth and go conquer on your own. I'm with you, honey. I've had my time in the limelight. Now it's time for you to shine.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he's pro-woman again. But I love that she's picked New York.
Yeah.
You know, because these people are like, they're like Boris Spassky. They're 6 chess moves down the line. I know Bill's pushing New York because it's not a community property state, you know? She ain't running for nothing in California because he's getting $200 a pop for speaking engagements. You don't want to be handing out 100 of that for the next 7 years. So they're just beautiful the way they work. She was just smart enough. And the reason I think Hillary Clinton rode Bill, a woman that smart, obviously that talented, I think the reason she rode his coattails for so long is because early in the relationship, it became obvious to her that there was no room to cling to on the front of any of his clothing, so she had to get on those coattails.
It took you a little while to get there, but it was good.
She's got a lot of resolve, though.
Yeah. Here is Mike on the toll-free in Oshawa, Ontario. Hi, Mike. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello. Well, it's good evening to you, Tom.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay, Dennis, have you ever gotten any negative feedback from anybody concerning you ragging on them?
Yeah, sure. You know what? And I don't even try to hide from it. There are people who should dislike me. I did a joke one night about Barry Goldwater had married some 30-year-old woman or something, and I did a joke on Weekend Update or somewhere about the new Mrs. Goldwater. You know, it's just a throwaway about a third. And I met the daughter of the woman. And she came up to me in a restaurant, and she got right in my face and said, "That was of you. That's my mother." And you know what? I wasn't even going to do that thing where you try to self-efface your way out of it. I said, "I'm sure you really dislike me, and you should. I'm telling you, I'm in the business of knocking these jokes off once in a while. That didn't seem like the most hurtful joke to me, but to you it must have been. And if I even apologized to you, that's phony to me. It was a joke. I did it. You should dislike me.
You should dislike me.
I mean, listen, you're going to be in the smart... I tell you, I try to leaven it by making fun of myself. Nobody's more intimately acquainted with their foibles than me.
True.
I know it's ridiculous running my hand through my hair, that chimpy laugh I do. That is my laugh, but I hear it sometimes. I go, shut up with that laugh. What are you going to do?
I saw you the night you walked out and made fun of your hair.
Well, I really don't care about my hair, but I mean, a lot of people think you do. You know, I care that I'm going bald, and there's nothing worse than a smartass going bald in front of America. You know, I come out and sell that attitude eventually. I look like Jimmy Carville. It's not going to work anymore.
It's only 26 weeks a year. Don't worry about it. Or get the plugs, one of the two.
But I just think that, yeah, there are people I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger once. I poked fun at him at the MTV Awards. Just something silly about a loud shirt he had on. And I showed up at this gig in Las Vegas. It was a party, and I see Arnold across the room, and he looks at me. You know, and Arnold, he's a sweet enough guy, but he has that, he's built like a rock.
Yeah, he's got that bulk.
He goes like this and starts walking towards me. I think, oh, God, I'm about to be pulverized by Conan, you know? And he comes up and he's, Dennis, I hear you think I'm mad at you. And I go, well, I don't know, Arnold. I made that joke about you, and somebody told me you're a little... He said, believe me, you will know when I am mad at you. It's like I'm watching a Dana Carvey sketch, you know? He's like, right, I will tell you to your face, you know? And he was sweet about it. But, yeah, there's people who don't like you. And you know what? I think if you're in TV, if you're visible, if you're doing opinionated stuff...
There are people who are not going to
dislike you. Right. And you're leading a goofy life if you're trying to get everybody to like you.
Mike, I'm glad you called, and thank you for watching us tonight, sir.
Well, thanks, Tom, and I guess it was goodbye to you.
It is goodbye indeed, Mike. Thanks for calling, sir, and have a great weekend,
where do you get off with that sucking up, Tom?
we will continue.
No, he doesn't like me.
No, he doesn't much care for you, I guess. Dennis Miller is the star of Dennis Miller Live on HBO on Fridays at 11:30 Eastern Time. Back with Dennis and you on the toll-free if time permits after this long but important word from our sponsors and the CBS television network.